Wally here, and finally we made it to the day where we can talk about Undertale and what I thought about it, and just 5 of my top favorite moments from this adventure. Undertale was something like I've never played before, and I have to thank you, party member D5 Dizzler, for suggesting this to me after playing Dragon Quest XI S for Nintendo Switch. Coming off that huge role-playing game, Undertale was a nice palate cleanser, really did something different, and things I wasn't expecting it to do. I guess I'm getting a little ahead of myself. If you haven't watched my Undertale playthrough, the link will be in the description, and on top of that, there might be spoiler talk. There might be spoiler discussion in this video. I'm not sure right now. I don't know how deep I want to get into it. I may not. I probably won't, but just in case it's a slip of the tongue and I don't edit it out, I just want to forewarn you if you're looking forward to playing this, and then I really do suggest you either play it, and if you are more into watching games, then go ahead and check out my playthrough. But it is a really cool game that not circumvents, but subverts. It does things that one would not expect in the role-playing genre. I love the graphical style since I am a gamer of the Super Nintendo era, playing, Earthbound, Nintendo's Earthbound, and that's what this game kind of reminded me of. It's quirky, it's weird, it's funny, it's interesting, it has a lot of cool characters, and it goes places. It really does. It kind of does things. It sets things up in the beginning that pays off later. There's foreshadowing. There's all kind of stuff. I mean, I could play it again and again and again and do it in different manners, as I've been made aware of. And it is just one of those games that kind of lived up to the expectations that I've heard, throughout the internet and amongst friends that really enjoy it. One of my best friend, she really was telling me to play Undertale, and she wanted to go ahead and beat it over again, but do it in a different manner that would lead to a different ending. So I love those kind of games too, where you don't have just one path. It's up to you to figure out how to play, and I really enjoyed that. And when I learned that you have to play it, you don't have to play it, but one could play it in a manner that will lead to maybe a more satisfying ending, or a different ending, or a quote-unquote good ending, I went that route. Again, thanks to D5 Dizzler for pointing me in that direction. I mean, I even restarted the game after learning about that aspect of this. So overall, my impressions of Undertale, now that it's all said and done, is I really, really enjoyed it. It was really cool. Definitely, I would consider it a bucket list game for people to play in their lifetime, because of just how it executes the role-playing genre in its own manner. Different mechanics and different things. Even the descriptions of items are very quirky. The game really caught me the moment the beginning, like cinematic, I guess you would call it, like some slides kind of showing you what was going on in this world, and I dug it. I fell in love with it the moment I started playing it. And I did try to play this once before, like for an hour or two. And it wasn't for a lack of not being hooked or being hooked by it. It was just the recording of it was not good. And I was like, I don't want to put that up. And then, like a year or two goes by, and now here I am being able to say I could finally write, or what's it called? Erase Undertale from my games to playlist. And it feels really good. And I had a great time. And I always remember the different characters that I interacted with, from our mother character, Toriel, to our first nemesis, Undyne, and, can't forget the Skeleton Bros. So there's so many different characters that to fall in love with. And, I would love to know what your favorite character is. If you played Undertale, or if you watched my playthrough, what is your favorite character in Undertale? Let me know in the comments. I really want to know about that, because I think my favorite character must have been... I think there's like ties. I mean, Toriel is really awesome. I like Flowey. I like Undyne. It's really hard. It's really hard to pick a character. Maybe that's why I want to know from you. But enough rambling. Enough about all that kind of stuff. Let's move on to like 5 things that I really enjoyed about Undertale. I think the first thing is just the overall presentation. Like, this game pays homage to those Super Nintendo games like Earthbound, like I mentioned previously. and it does it really well. It executes this 2D world that's, not only Earthbound, but like Dragon Quest, like these, everything is done great. The artwork of the monsters are sweet. I love the hand-drawn or pixel art style. The entire thing is just oozing with character in a 2D realm. I know 2D and these kind of retro-styled games aren't for everyone, but if you, open up your heart and let yourself just be taken by the story and the adventure, then the characters really do pop. Like Undyne, they're so expressive in their artwork and how they're portrayed and their writing. It's just really great. The writing in this game is so cool because the characters feel three-dimensional in a 2D world, if that makes sense. And that's what I really, really enjoyed about this. Number 2 must be just you can play this game in any kind of manner you want. Now, this may be a little bit more spoiler territory, but I'll be a little bit vague about it. But there's ways to play this game where it's like a Metal Gear Solid game where you can play stealth or you can kill enemies in that series. Or like in this game, you can kill enemies or you can, let people live. And you're based on that, your actions affect the game. And I guess that's all I'll say. But just that mechanic itself, allowing you to choose if you want characters to live or to die, and it's ultimately up to you. I really do like that. And seeing it in a 2D game and done so well, it really does matter. It's just mind-blowing that this was achieved, and I really think that's really clever and really cool. The third thing that I like about this is just the cast of characters. I know I was rambling on a little bit earlier, but the cast of characters evolve and grow as the story continues. Because, Toriel just seems like someone that is really hard on you in the beginning, that's overprotective, and maybe she is, but as you play the adventure, things open up, things get explored about why these characters are who they are. And I'm just, in this number 3, I'm also going to kind of throw in, like, foreshadowing or environmental clues, right? Like, it's the characters and the environment really make Undertale this. Not only the characters are three-dimensional, but the entire world is three-dimensional. Like, why are we here in the underground? Well, you're gonna figure that out. Why are these monsters here? Who are these monsters? Like, these things are expressed and told with clues and storybooks or diaries. Like, you have to put some of this together to get it. And the game really plays like we're educated gamers, right? So I really did enjoy that. I don't remember what my point of 3 is, if it's the characters and the environment, but they all kind of mesh together, and it's awesome. Number 4, I guess it's more, what's it called, specific or mechanical? It's the puzzles. I really did enjoy a lot of these puzzles and figuring them out. And then once a character named Dr. Alphys gets involved, the puzzle game gets ramped up, and it's really fun. It's really great doing these things, laser beams, and coming across these puzzles where you have to move blocks and shoot, and you only have so many times to shoot in order to get through that puzzle. So, and how can I forget the one where I really was trying to figure out the rules. There's one really early on that it's like this tile-based puzzle with a lot of colors, and there's this long explanation by some of the characters in the game telling you how to, what panel does what color panels, like the yellow one, the blue one's the water. You don't want to go in that one. And I really thought I was going to have to figure that out. And it's just, these moments really spoke to me. And the puzzles are part of the story because people talk about setting up the puzzles in this world. And that is part of the reason why I talked about like the subverting role-playing expectations, is because these people are actively creating these puzzles. They know they're creating the puzzles, and it just gets crazier and crazier as it progresses. I think the 5th thing and final thing that I really like about Undertale is the battle system. It's very clever, very unique, and again, I'm going to piggyback on what I just said. It also really just takes the role-playing battle system and puts it on its head. It really does. It's like it's not what I was expecting. I was going in there being like attack, attack, attack. Okay, magic, use items, etc., bam, you're done with the battles. But each of these monsters have unique personalities. Like, that's insane. They react to different actions. They, to defeat them, you can do, again, you can act different ways towards them. And that's the main thing that I like. It's like these characters, will say different things based on how you treat them in battle and how you deal with them. And you can always just smack them over the head if you want. If you want to play this like a traditional role-playing game, you can. But that, I think, would be ignoring all of the personality and all the characters and all the love and detail that went into making these battles so awesome. So I would really recommend, if you're playing this, to kind of figure out how to act towards the different monsters and creatures that you meet, because you may be surprised. You may like how this battle system deviates and is different than many role-playing games in the past, and I can probably guess in the future as well. And it just comes off so well. So those 5 things for me really make this game, this adventure, so wonderful. Characters, environments, battle systems, the presentation, puzzles, everything about this all into one, wrapped up. And what do you get? You get a Undertale, a tale of the underground where monsters and humans, they are battling each other, and it was just a blast to experience, a blast to play. One more time to party member D5 Dizzler, thank you very much for recommending me play this. I had a blast interacting with you, but all good times have to come to an end, and we will be moving on to the next game to write off from my my bucket list game list of all the games I must play in my life, and that should be fun as well. Yeah, I think that's going to do it for my Undertale wrap-up and impressions. Let me know what you think about Undertale in the comments, and I would love to hear all about it. As always, thanks for joining the party, thanks for listening to me ramble, and I'll see you in the next exciting playthrough.